What's up, millennials? Today we're going to talk about a stock which is not located in the United States, but which is located in Europe. And it's actually located in Poland. So we're going to talk about a company that's called CD Projekt Red, okay? And in this video we're going to talk about who they are exactly, what they do, and also if it's a good moment to buy their stock right now. So let's hop into it. So CD Projekt Red is a video game developer, and here we've got their website over here. They are based in Warsaw, which is in Poland in Europe. Let's check out real quick where that is exactly. Here you have the map of the world. You've got the United States over here, and if we zoom in on Europe over here, we can see this beautiful heart, which is my own house. And if we go to Poland, which is right over here next to Germany, we can see that Projekt Red is in their capital city, Warsaw, and is located right over here. Not very important, but just to let you know. They also have some other locations, some other studios, which you can see over here. So you've got the Warsaw studio, then you've got the Krakow studio, the Wrocław studio. So these three are the ones where they are operating from. And if we take a look at the Wikipedia website of CD Projekt Red, we can see that this company was founded in May 1994 by these two people. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce these names. And as we can see over here as well, CD Projekt Red is right now the largest video game industry company in Europe, right? So here it says by May 2020, CD Projekt Red had reached a valuation of $8.1 billion, making it the largest video game industry company in Europe ahead of Ubisoft. Later on in this video, we're going to check out their current market cap. So what does CD Projekt Red do exactly? Well, as we've said, they are a video game developer. So that means they're basically developing video games, right? As we can see over here, they've got several games which have been launched since 2007. And one of the most popular ones is The Witcher. Now, I'm not a gamer myself, but my friends think that The Witcher was a pretty cool game. We've got The Witcher, the first one over here in 2007. Then in 2011, we've got The Witcher 2. And The Witcher 3 launched in 2015. But this year, CD Projekt Red is actually going to launch a new game called Cyberpunk 2077. And this game has been hyped a lot by many people. As I've said, I'm not a gamer myself, so I don't know too much about this game. But one friend of mine is very hyped about this game. He even took a few days off to be able to play the game on the days that it's coming out, right? So what is Cyberpunk 2077 exactly? Well, I'll just play a short little trailer of 30 seconds in which you can see this beautiful Keanu Reeves, hero of many people, of course, and I'll just let the trailer do the talking.
Welcome to Night City.
Yeah, come on.
The only limit to what you can do is what you're willing to become. So dream big. If you can hack it, the future's yours for the taking.
So as you can see, on November 19th, it's going to be released. A lot of people are hyped for it. I won't go into too much detail about what it is because, well, I don't necessarily want to get you hyped on the game, but I want to get you hyped on the stock itself, right? So now we pretty much know what Cyberpunk is all about. It's a video game that is going to be, well, the setting is pretty much in the future in 2077. And here on the Wikipedia, we can see that Cyberpunk 2077 is played in a first-person perspective as V, a mercenary whose voice, face, hairstyles, body type, and modifications, background, and clothing are customizable. Now, this game has been delayed twice already and almost 3 times. As we can see over here, at E3 in 2019, so last year, a third trailer set it up for a 16 April 2020 release, right? And this was first delayed to 17th of September and now to the 19th of November. And as we can see over here as well, it has already won several awards in 2018, 19, and 20. Right over here, we can see that it has won over 100 awards at E3 2018, including Best Game, Best Xbox One Game, Best PC Game, Best RPG, People's Choice, Best Role-Playing Game, Game of the Show, Best of E3 at PC Gamer, etc, etc. So that's pretty incredible. The game hasn't even been released yet, and it has already won several prizes. But let's go back to the delay of the game, right? So as we have said before, it has already been delayed twice and it was almost going to be delayed a third time. As we can see over here, Cyberpunk 2077 developers reportedly working 6-day weeks to finish the game. So that means that they are still in a hurry to actually be able to finish the game on time, right? The company CD Projekt Red basically had to choose between either delaying the game even further, right, for the third time, that would already have been the third time, or working 6-day weeks in order to be able to finish the game on time. Now, the Cyberpunk 2077 boss defends this final month crunch, and what he said on Twitter was the following. These last 6 weeks are our final sprint on a project we've all spent much of our lives on. Something we care for deeply. The majority of the team understands that push, especially in light of the fact that we've just sent the game to CERT and every day brings us visibly closer to shipping a game we want to be proud of. This is one of the hardest decisions I've had to make. But everyone is well compensated for every extra hour they put in. And like in recent years, 10% of the annual profit our company generates in 2020 will be split directly among the team. So quite a lot of people were actually angry at CD Projekt Red because they wanted their developers to work 6-day weeks, right? 6 working days a week. But, well, I can understand that they didn't want to push the game for a third time. That would be pretty horrible for all the people, all the gamers waiting for this game to come out, right? So I kind of understand this. And I also like the fact that they actually are compensated for every extra hour they put in, and also that 10% of the profit in 2020 is going to be split among the team. So I really like that. So then the question arises, is this a good moment to buy CD Projekt Red as a stock? Well, if you take into account that Cyberpunk 2077 is going to be released shortly on November 19th, well, it could definitely be a very nice moment to buy. I think that the next earnings of CD Projekt Red are going to be important. As we can see over here on TradingView, the next earnings is going to be on November 26th of this year. So that's going to be the earnings for the period ending in September 2020. So during these earnings, we're probably not going to see a lot of information about the release of Cyberpunk, or at least like the financial numbers, so to say. So for that, we probably would need to wait until the earnings after this one. So not this one in November, but the one in probably like February or March, somewhere around that point. But if you take into account that the earnings still need to come up, the game still needs to come out, well, it could be a very interesting moment to buy right now. So is it a good moment to buy according to technical analysis? Well, let's just take a look. And before we do so, you do have to keep in mind that this stock is actually not in dollars, not in euros, but it's in Polish zlotys. And I really need to be careful with the way I pronounce that word, because I can understand that it can be misheard by some people and maybe by YouTube as well. So the stock price right now is 380 zlotys, right? And if we put that in the calculator, 380 zlotys is about, well, almost exactly $100. So the stock right now is almost $100. Then if we take a look at the market cap, we can see over here on the right hand side in the corner over here, the market cap is 36.35 billion zloty. So let's put that in a calculator as well. That will be 36.35. So the market cap is about $9.5 billion. Okay. Let's take a quick look at the financials first before we hop into the technical analysis. We can see the financial numbers over here. And we can see a few things, right? We can see the gross profit has been coming down until 2018, but now in 2019 it has gone up, and I expect that 2020 and 2021 are going to be very good years. If we take a look at the balance sheet, we can see that they have a very low debt of only $20 million. And if we take a look at the cash flow, we can see that they have a pretty nice cash flow over here. So they can easily pay off that debt right now if they wanted to do that. If we do take a look at the PE ratio, though, it's currently very high at 141. So that is something to take into account. But on the other hand, it is very likely as well that the company can still grow a lot in the future. So now let's take a look at technical analysis. And here we have the chart of CD Projekt Red on the daily chart. So every vertical bar you can see over here is 1 day of price action. And let's just take a look at the support and resistance lines first, right? I've already drawn them out for you. Price action is over here right now. And as we can see over here, it has already reached a quite major support over here. This was used as resistance back here, then it had some price action here, it was used as support over here, and now we might be using it as support again. Then if we take a look at the RSI over here, we can see some interesting things as well. As we can see, the RSI also seems to have a support over here, which was created basically in February 2020. It had some support there. Then in July 2020, it had some support around this major level as well. And in September 2020, had support as well. And now it seems to be kind of consolidating in this region, right? So if we just take a look at the effect of this last support in July 2020, we can see that this was actually a major low for this stock. So that could mean that this is actually going to turn into a major support, a major low as well. And something else that's very interesting as well is that we can see that there is a bullish divergence on the RSI. What does that mean? Well, it basically means that the price action, so the chart is making lower lows, right? As we can see over here, we've got a low over here. Let's zoom in a little bit. A low over here, a lower low, and a lower low, right? But if we take a look at the RSI, we can see that it's making actually higher lows. So we've got a low over here, and we're making higher lows and higher lows over there. So that indicates that while price action is coming down, the indicator actually wants to go up. RSI is simply an indicator that indicates how strong a trend is. So that could be a very good sign. Now let's also take a look at the 4-hour chart over here. We can see basically the same things happening here over as well. We can see again bullish divergence. We can see that the RSI is making higher lows, low over here, higher low, higher low, higher low. But on the price action chart, we can see lower lows, a low, lower low, lower low, lower low, lower low, right? So that is a pretty good sign if you ask me, because bullish divergence indicates that the chart kind of and the price action needs to come up again, as is indicated by the bullish divergence on the RSI. Now, if we take a quick look at the stochastics on the 4-hour, they are also quite low. This purple line over here seems to be quite low and seems to cross back upwards, so that's a pretty good sign. And a quick look at the MACD also shows that we have a nice cross back to the upside. So the blue line over here is crossing the orange line, which is always a good sign as well. If we take a look at the previous time when that happened, that was right over here. And that was a pretty good moment as well to buy, because after that, price action went up from bottom to top about 12.5%. So that's a pretty good sign. So yes, according to technical analysis, you could also say that this is a very good moment to buy. Alright, so there you go. Now we've taken a look at the biggest video game developer in Europe, CD Projekt Red. They are going to release a very hyped product soon, which is Cyberpunk 2077, and according to technical analysis, this might actually be a very nice moment to buy. Of course, keep in mind, though, that I am not a financial advisor, so this is not financial advice, but I do hope that you have been able to get some valuable information from this video. Just let me know in the comments which stock is your favorite video game stock. I would love to know your opinions about that. Alright, so put that in the comments and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!